Assalamu alaikum. I'm Muhammad Saad Qasim. This is a presentation about analyzing room conditions for the elderly people at home and in hospital setting. The project contained introduction, problem statement and objectives, methodology, result and analysis, discussion, and conclusion. Introduction. With the advent of the Industrial Revolution, modern lighting systems have brightened our surrounding both outdoors and indoors. Unlike the indoors setting a few centuries ago, where limitation of the sources of light made people work or live in darkness after sunset. Today, these limitations have been overcome. Similarly, other advancement in the form of the noise cancellation building materials in developed countries have made the lives of people more serene and free from external noises, particularly for those living in the metropolitans and having a residential area close to highway or busy vicinities. These commodities are essential and inevitable sources of comfort for elderly people who are 60 or above in age. Sleep plays a vital part in maintaining and improving their health. Any compromises made in this context can affect their health conditions, including physiological. Problem statement and objectives. The work presented in this study focuses on the use of mobile aided Internet of Things based data extraction in the form of the intensity of light and sound levels in DP. These two sources will be inspected in the context of sound sleep patterns of elderly people who are direct influenced by these measures. The objectives of this study are as follows. A. To be learn how to use the Think Central web interface, mobile application, and cloud centered connectivity. B. They developed suitable experimental setups for the recording of light, intensity levels, and sound levels. C. They make a statistical and empirical analysis of the recording and infer them to be suitable or unsuitable for elderly people's dormitories. Apart from meeting the above objectives, a framework for the proposed solution will be developed and features roadmap to enhance this study will be presented. Methodology. The methodology presented in this section focuses on two aspects of the recording. First, the experimental setups are established, and second, the applications Think Central has been configured. Experimental setup. The experimental setup involves two tiers or two categories of the rooms in the house and determining their suitability for elderly people. The first room analyzed is on the back side of the house, away from the roadside. This room has no direct flux of light entering. The sources of light include the indoor installed light and the indirect sunlight entering from the backyard. much lower in intensity levels since the passage is generally shadowed. Also, thick curtains have been installed inside the room that completely blocks the natural light passage. Therefore, reading taken at the night time or daylight only depends upon the internal lighting. This room will be herein referred to as room 1 and is depicted in the figure below. The second room selected for the measurements is the room located across the facade. The two key aspects of the room are: A, it has a direct passage for the entrance of the natural light, 8 feet by 6 feet glass window. B, it has some traffic flow and is thus more prone to instinctive noise like the horn of a vehicle. Recording of the sound dB levels is made on two different acquisition. A, where the environment is quiet and no influence is recorded from the outside. B, a vehicle passes by and blows a horn. The room from here on will be termed room 2 and is depicted in the figure below. This is figure 3, consists room 2 overview with the direct influence of sunlight. Sensor and application setup. ThinkCentral 2021 R1 has been installed on Android 13 on a Samsung smartphone. Additionally, the web link of the ThinkCentral has been enabled using Google Chrome on Windows 10. The configuration across the web interface involves establishing two numerous stages. These have been demonstrated below. Project setup. The first stage is the development of the project. A new project has been created with the title Elderly Aid, and this layout of the project development screen. Application setting. The first stage involves the cloud setting to enable the creation of link between ThinkCentral and mobile application. The second stage involves the configuration of sensors have been selected, light and sound. This figure configuration of the sensors, the light sensors and the sound sensors with the codes.
Assalamu alaikum. I'm Habib Abdel Nassim Habib Al Jabr. Now I'm start to continue presenting our project. A potential limitation. The link establishment between the sound sensor and the web interface does not appear to work. The data collected on the mobile device is not received by the web interface. Nonetheless, the type screenshot from a mobile device were required in the case of sound recordings. Data transmission works effectively for light recordings. Results and analysis. The results have been recorded for the light and sound density levels in lux and decibels, respectively. For the light recording, the continuous data acquisition mode has been turned on and the start button has been pressed for mobile to start acquiring. The data recording has been made in chunks, where different scenarios for the light and sound density levels have been tested. Each of these data points is then analyzed under statistical measures to find a converge point. The details for each these test runs are depicted below. Room 1. On room 1, the sound and light density records are taken at night hours between 8 p.m. and 9 p.m. The mobile device have been placed on the bed for figure 3.1. Since this is the resting area where light density shall be measured, there are three sub-stages involved. Stage 1 lighting. In the first stage, only daylighting front wall have been turned on and the respective measures taken are shown in the graph below. This graph shows light intensity recorded around 1 with single light daylight on the front wall. The x-axis refers to the timestamp between 20 hours and 21 and 48 hours on January 18, 2023. The standard density levels as established by ergonomic lighting levels by room for residential spaces for undwelled room shall be between 100 to 300 lux. Thus, this room appears to be good fit for elderly people. In general setting, also, the statistical measures indicate there are no major variation that could be bring in continuous while sitting. Stage 1 sound analysis. There are no instinctive sounds recorded coming from the outside since the room is located on the back side of the house. The data is enabled to link with the web interface despite making up the right configuration. Therefore, sound recording manually made in the application, and screenshots are taken for sound meter outcome for room 1. Room 2. Room 2, the same analysis has been repeated and the inferences are developed. First, the light intensity levels are recorded during the daytime of the peak afternoon hours when elderly people need a nap. The light intensities are recorded and found to be high. At night time, the light intensities go down to zero, yet the sound analysis will be demonstrated at the room is suitable for resting. Stage 1 lighting. The corresponding graph below for the light intensity levels recorded at the peak afternoon time has been depicted below. Stage 2. Sound analysis. The sound levels in general remain close to those observed for room 2, yet a profound intensity increase has been observed while recording the sound of a vehicle horn. It can be seen that when a horn sound reaches the home, the instantaneous sound intensity levels reach over 65 decibels. This causes sleep disruptions and the room shall be avoided for elderly people to rest. Discussion. Room 1 is found to be more suitable for elderly people to rest compared to room 2. Room 1 offers two benefits. The light intensity levels are already within the comfort range, while also having no direct impact from the sunlight. Additionally, the sound measures have concluded the room to be indicative of offering a serene environment where the influence of instinctive noise is not found. For room 2, on contrary, a direct passage of sunlight is present which shall be blocked using curtain for the afternoon sleep. Yet, the sound serves a bigger issue where intensity levels rise over 65 decibels when a horn was blown by a passing car. Such disturbance can hinder the sleeping patterns of the elderly and make continuously deprive them of the deep sleeping cycles, which are essential for good health. Conclusion. The study offered a hands-on experience for analyzing the suitability of a room for elderly people to rest under two-tier analysis. Sound levels and light intensity levels. The analysis involved the use of the Think Central application and the web interface to record and analyze data, respectively. The application got access to the inbuilt sensor of the mobile phone and took reading of the suitability interval. These readings were then transmitted to the web interface through the cloud setup. The analysis offered an empirical approach to analyze the problem. The statistical and temporal analysis helped establish the recorded intensity level of the sound, with those found in the literature. Additionally, the study can help develop a lighting plan for the new houses, considering various modes, including the work mode, study mode, sleep mode, etc. In the future, the initial issue of sound data transmission toward the web interface shall be inspected to get empirical data and perform statistical analysis. Additionally, the application shall enable real-time sample sound and the light spherical region, like blue, white, etc. This will future enable analysis for the spectrum. References. Here are some of the references we relied on. Thank you for your attention.